Welcome back to Fandom Feud. Our next semifinal competition is between the Federation following Trekkies and Alliance antagonizing Whedonites. Let's bring them on stage. Once again, I'll spin the fantastic wheel of fan tasks to determine the next competition. And it's TV Tropes. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this activity, TV Tropes is a website that catalogs common archetypes and devices used in TV shows, film, literature, comic books, and video games. Fans can add posts applying these tropes to their favorite fandoms. So for this round, the computer will randomly select one trope for each fan group, which they will have to define and apply to their fandom. Everybody ready? Computer, please randomly select a trope for the Star Trek fandom.
This trope refers to when the human race is collectively held accountable for its actions by an outside party, often an advanced alien race, because it has discovered space travel or nuclear weapons, or simply because the outside party has decided the time is right. Generally, the human race is represented by an individual or small group. The outside party's ideology can range from the justification that no other sentient creatures in the universe commit such crimes as man, fear that mankind will harm other species in the universe, or, in extreme cases, simply the elimination of a threat. On Star Trek The Next Generation, the omnipotent Q continuum declares to the USS Enterprise NCC 1701D that humanity will be put on trial, and that their actions during their upcoming mission will be used to judge the human race's worth, or lack thereof. Although Captain Picard is warned that they will fail, the crew presses on. At Q's suggestion, the captain sends a team toward the alien craft that has been firing on Farpoint Station, rather than returning fire. In discovering that the alien craft is actually a life form trying to save its exploited mate, the captain chooses simply to free it rather than obeying Q by punishing the exploiters. Humanity is thus acquitted. At the end of TNG, the scenario is repeated and the narrative comes full circle. The second time, Q challenges Captain Picard to solve the puzzle of a spatial anomaly that in the past prevents the crew's trip to Farpoint Station, and in the future destroys humanity. Upon discovering that the anomaly is of his own making, he solves the problem by ordering the Enterprise in 3 different timelines to fly into the center of the anomaly, saving humanity but destroying themselves. Q then brings the captain back to the courtroom, where he reveals that the timelines have been restored, and humanity once again acquitted. Both times, humanity is held accountable for its flaws. It is saved by controlling those flaws, by taking responsibility, and by making selfless sacrifices.
And now, computer, please select a trope for the Whedonverse fandom.
The extraordinarily empowered girl is a characterization trope common in science fiction and fantasy. Such a character is a woman who exceeds normal thresholds of capability and power to the point of being superpowered or goddess-like. Generally, she symbolizes female empowerment in a way that is specific to her time period. Further, she bears the responsibility of a mission, both literal and figurative. The Whedonverse contains several such characters, and in most of these cases, she is a girl whose natural gifts are exploited by a patriarchal organization over which she eventually triumphs. The title character of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one example. The Watchers Council attempts to restrict the ways in which Buffy is allowed to use her strength. By the time she graduates from high school, however, Buffy has completely liberated herself from their control. On Firefly, River Tam fulfills a similar role. She is a natural genius who succeeds effortlessly in all realms before being transformed into a weapon against her will by the Alliance. They attempt to manipulate her capabilities for their own benefit. Until the end of Serenity, she helps to reveal the knowledge of the Alliance's dark past to the public. In doing so, she not only begins a revolution against an oppressive system, but she also frees herself from their control. All of these characters are extraordinarily empowered, allowing them to become the Messiah-like figures that deliver liberation.
Alright, let's hear from the judges. Our guest judge for this round will be Allison McCracken, a scholar who explores sexual politics in television texts.
We cast our vote for the Star Trek fans on the basis that they have chosen a text with political significance and shown that, in participating with that text, it is possible to actively engage in the text and glean intellectual meaning from the culture.
My vote goes for the Whedonverse. The meaning that the Trekkies have derived from their text is one that pacifies anxieties about modern society through the repeated acquittal of humanity, whereas the Whedonites have read and taken to heart the symbolic implications of a text that advocates change in gender politics.
I vote for the Whedonites because they have taken their interpretation further. The Trekkies did extract meaning from their chosen text, but the Whedonites collected diverse narrative elements and assembled them into a coherent and progressive ideological stance. They were not only impressively knowledgeable, but impressively insightful, and have clearly demonstrated their agency as consumers and fans to deconstruct a text and imbue it with personal meaning.
My vote goes to the Whedonites because of their ability to incorporate identities or social groups that are usually ignored or devalued in the media, specifically the Whedonites' redefinition of what it means to be a woman, and by implication, other groups in society that are frequently denied a voice. Their assessment of the wider implications of the extraordinarily empowered girl trope shows that they can enjoy their text on a personal level and apply it in the realm of gender and sexual politics.
The votes are in, and with 3 votes to 1, the Whedonverse wins. They will compete against the Star Wars fans in our final round coming up next.
It's the final countdown.
Welcome back to Fandom Feud. We're all set for the final round between Star Wars fans and Whedonverse fans. Let's bring the contestants to the stage. This final round will be a little bit different from the semi-final rounds. Our panel of experts has already decided what the competition will entail and how the winner will be chosen. Are you guys ready to hear what the final round will be? Before the competition even began, fandoms were asked to create an original internet campaign that would create a following for their fandom. The fans were allowed to apply all of their previous knowledge about internet campaigns to this task, but were not allowed to use previously created campaigns. What the fans did not know about these campaigns is that they were, in fact, the final competition. That's right, folks. The decision has already been made. Whichever fandom was able to generate the largest following with their internet campaign will win this competition. The peeps in this very audience were selected as a representative sample and voted for the most effective campaign. Before we announce the winner, let's hear from the fandoms about their work.
The world of internet campaigns is not unknown to the fans of the Whedonverse. We've been down this road before and know how to effectively sway non-believers. After Firefly was cancelled, we took the metaphorical streets of the internet and waged a war against Fox. We won that war when Firefly DVDs flew off the shelves and Serenity was released. When people were without television programming during the writer's strike, the Whedonites broke the internet when Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog went viral, and later helped Joss the Boss earn a large return on his investment when Dr. Horrible DVDs were released among the top sales of iTunes and Amazon. We started out this campaign by spreading the word about Whedonites on social networking sites and message boards. After establishing general knowledge, we generated more interest by creating original content such as fanfiction, YouTube videos, and original ads. Our final step was to organize viewers by holding viewing parties in various places as well as over the internet. Once people were interested in the Whedonverse, we continued to court them by providing a place where old and new fans can come together and chat about the world of Whedon.
Thank you, Whedonites. Star Wars fans, tell us about your campaign.
Our main approach was to reignite the interest of older fans while inspiring newer fans to dig deeper into the fictional world. We needed to get fans of the original trilogy back into the Star Wars fandom. For the older fans, we made fan fiction and fan art that connected the original trilogy to the newer incarnations. We made promotional materials for the newer additions to the world and placed them on networking sites and message boards to bring newer fans deeper into the fandom. We basically created 2 campaigns that were geared to these specific audiences. We believe that by splitting our resources, we were able to engage people more effectively within the world of Star Wars and recruit them to the dark side of hardcore fandom.
Thank you, Star Wars fandom. And now the time has come for the results of Fandom Feud. Are you guys ready? Because of their ability to create an effective and cohesive internet campaign, the winner of Fandom Feud, as voted on by the studio audience, is Whedonites. And that's this season of Fandom Feud. Congratulations, Whedonites! Thanks to you peeps for voting, and see you next season.